Hello, welcome to episode 2.
Here's our blanket, excellent.
Asymmetrical twist. Dropping and sinking up.
Notice how
So just notice. Joining us for the second episode of next week. Namaste. Hello and welcome to episode 52 of Namaste Yoga. It is our 1-year anniversary, our 1-year birthday here. We have done one episode of Namaste Yoga each week for the last year, so it feels like a pretty big deal. And I want to thank all of you for joining us for the last 52 weeks. It's just been a real pleasure to serve you this way and to have you guys friend me on Facebook and send me your emails and feedback about how Namaste Yoga has affected you in your life is just such an amazing gift, and I so appreciate it. I also want to thank Ninka for coming today. She has been a huge part of Namaste Yoga, and one of the really motivating forces behind it for me personally. She's such an inspiration to me, so I'm so glad that Ninka could be here for the show too. So I was thinking about what are we going to do today for the 1-year anniversary, because it seems like kind of a monumental day. And we are working on this series of listening with our whole body. And so since my whole thing and my whole philosophy tends to be around listening with our bodies, it seems pretty appropriate that we do a class on listening with our bodies today. So just in this moment, think about the messages that your body gives you each and every day, whether it be pain or stiffness, hunger or tingling, fatigue, self-understanding. Your body is a totally reliable source of information. So take a moment now and close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out through your mouth. And just tune into your body right now. Notice the things that are standing out to you. What is your body saying to you in this very moment right now? Now take a deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out through your mouth. And continuing to keep your focus on your body, notice what your body is saying about your thoughts. How in this moment is your body a reflection of the thoughts that you're feeding it? Now take another deep breath in through your nose and let it go through your mouth. And again, keeping your body at the forefront of your awareness, notice how your body is a reflection of your current emotional landscape. And then take another deep breath in through your nose. Let it fall out through your mouth. And notice how your body reflects your spirit. Take another deep breath in through your nose, inside your mouth, and bring all those parts of your being together that make up your body, your actual physical body, your emotional body, your thought body, your spirit body. And given all these aspects of your being, ask yourself how this practice today could best serve you in your life. And then take another deep breath in through your nose. Let it fall out through your mouth. And ask yourself, how might your body want to move in this moment? Bringing your attention particularly to your head and your neck and your shoulders, and listening to the messages inside your body, begin to respond to how your body wants to move in this moment. And feel free. Really feel like you have to stay in this seated position. You could come to any position that would serve you and the needs of your body the most in this moment. Now bring your attention to your shoulders and your arms, your hands and your wrists. And how might these parts of your body want to move today? There's an ant eating our birthday cupcake now. Now bring your attention to your torso and your spine and see how this part of your body might want to move, inviting in whatever kind of movement serves you best in this moment. Bring your awareness to your hips, your pelvis, and see how this part of your body might want to move right now. And then invite your legs and your feet to join in the movement. No right or wrong way to move here, no better, best way to move, just the way that your body wants to move right now. Gosh, it feels so nice in the sunshine here today. It just feels so warm. It feels really easy to move my body in this warmth. Okay, and if you aren't already, find your way onto all fours. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips so that you're in down dog. And then walk your feet into your hands and find a way to come to a standing position. Standing with your feet underneath your hips, lengthen your legs down long into the ground and reach your spine up tall. Roll your shoulders back and down and bring your ears back and over your shoulders. And then let your eyes close or bring them to a soft gaze. And now bring your awareness to your feet. What's happening in your feet? Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out through your mouth. And shift your attention to your ankles and your lower legs. And notice what's happening there. And if nothing's happening there, just know that that's okay too. Take another deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out through your mouth. And bring your attention to your knees and your upper legs. What's happening in your knees and your upper legs? Now shift your attention to your pelvis. And notice what's happening in your pelvis. Take another deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out through your mouth. And shift your attention to your belly and your low back. What's happening here in your body? Now take another deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out through your mouth. And bring your awareness to your chest and your upper back. What's happening in your chest and your upper back? Now notice your shoulders and your arms, your hands and your wrists. What's going on in that part of your body? And then bring your attention to your neck and your head. And notice what's happening there. Now take another deep breath in through your nose. Let it fall out through your mouth. And bring your awareness back to your whole body again. And as you shift your awareness back to your whole body again, notice what you discovered about your body by doing that body scan today. What new awareness did you have about yourself? What insight did you gain? Now open your eyes to a soft gaze if they aren't already, and take your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. And I want you to twist to the left, and as you twist to your left, lift your right heel, and then twist to your right and lift your left heel. So twisting from side to side. And just adjust your stance so that it's as wide or as narrow as it suits you. So now let's add some breath. We'll inhale in the center and exhale with a ha as we go to the side. Ha, ha. Ha, 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 ha. And experiment with speeding up or slowing down, and notice what feels right in your body today. Ha, 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 ha. And then move yourself. What's happening now? What important information is your body revealing about your life right now? Okay. So from here, open your eyes again and bring your arms straight out in front of you. Breathe in a little bit more, bring your arms out to your side. Breathe in all the way, take your arms overhead. Take a deep breath out, bend your knees deeply and let your arms drop down. So little breath in, arms in front, little more arms to the side, little more overhead, and exhale. Couple more of those. And then come to standing in stillness again and let your eyes close. And ask yourself, to what extent can I trust my body as an intelligent and reliable source of information? All right, come toward the front of your mat and take a generous step back with your left foot. Okay. Turn your hips so they're facing the short end, the long end of your mat, and then just check in and see that your back knee and toes are facing in the same direction. So we both like this angle, right? We were kind of, I was noticing that in class this week too. This angle, this 90-degree angle, feels really right in my body. But in your body, and Ninka's too, I was noticing that when I was taking her class this week. In your body, I'll try and, it might feel better to have it more pigeon-toed, more turned in like that. So see what feels right for you. There's really no right or wrong way for the foot to be facing. Of course, you don't want it turned all the way out like that, because that's not what we're doing right now. But as long as the knees and the toes are facing the same direction, you're good. The other thing we've been working with this week is experimenting with width of our stance, and we were playing with lining up heel to heel as opposed to heel to arch of the foot, which is the way it's been taught for many years, mostly because prior to the current growth of yoga, it was men doing it. So especially if you're a woman, it may be comfortable to try this heel to heel stance versus the heel to arch, which is a narrower stance. So just check it out and see what it feels like in your body. Okay, so find the one that works for you. And you know, we were working with that in our class last night too, and even though automatically it might feel more stable, just know if it's a different way, it's gonna take a little bit of getting used to too. So, all right. Slowly bend your front right knee until you find the just right spot. We worked with Edge a couple of weeks ago. You were here for that one too. This is the way we were working with side angle last night in class, because you know when you come into side angle and you see this kind of collapsing thing through the torso, this is what we did to avoid that, so that there's integrity through the core. You're gonna love this, Ninka. Inhale, take your arms overhead. Exhale, bend your spine over. Now bring your right arm down. Integrity in the core. Do you like that? We just came up with that last night. And then come on up. Turn your toes so they face straight ahead on your mat. And now turn your left toe towards the short end of your mat. And bend your front left knee. Take your arms up overhead again. Exhale, side bend over. Once you're there, then lower the arm, but there's this integrity and strength through the core now. So as you hold the pose on this side, ask yourself what it would be like to turn to your body as a source of guidance. Inhale and come on up. Let the posture out of your body. Maybe just shake it out a little bit. Okay. So both Nink and I have been working with triangle in our classes this week. We've both found a new appreciation and love of it in our bodies. So we're kind of excited to share it with you. Now we're going to take your feet wide again on the mat. And turn your right toes towards the short end of your mat. And your left back foot, again, it can be like the side angle pose at an angle that feels right for you. You can line up heels or heel and arch. See what feels right for you. Okay, so this is, next time you're on, you should teach triangle and then they can hear your shtick with it. This is the way we worked with it in a master class this summer. So what you're going to start with is creating space in this hip. So this hip is going to shift out by this hip pulling in. And it's great if you can do it on a wall, if you've got a wall at home. From that position, then you shift forward. And again, you get all this core strength stuff. Now tip wherever you are, which may be the ground and may not. It's going to be different on every person. So for me, this whole pelvic thing is huge because it creates all this space and no compression, and also then everything is set up beautifully, because how many times do I see in my class this kind of yanking around? So this front hip pulls back, back hip moves back, then goes the torso. And the reason for that is without this kind of movement first, you just do this, you get some kind of shearing action on the SI joint. So move the hip, move the torso, then rotate. And just see how that feels in your body. And if you can do it on a wall, that would be great. And feel how much core strength that's taking along the side of your torso, which I think is great. And then come back up and release. And take your feet and turn them. So your left toe is going to turn towards the short end of your mat. Right toes can turn in or be straight like this, and tail's tucked under. Now you create that space at the front of the hip, so your right hip's gonna push back. Okay, now you'll shift your torso forward and then tip the whole thing. And this is a pose that I'm actually practicing at home now because I finally found a way that it feels right and it works right in my body. And that's what you have to do with your yoga. Play around with it and explore with it and see what works right for you and your body. Okay, and find your way out of your posture. Bring your legs in and give it a little shake out. Great. How was that? What did you think? Yeah. Yeah. That pose is, we talk about how, well, since we're talking about listening to our bodies, I know if I hear trying in a class, I'm just like, uh-oh. So it's good to play around and find different ways of doing it. Stand at the front of your mat and inhale, take your arms straight up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, bend your knees as much as you need to, coming down to hands on the ground. Walk your right foot back and walk your left foot back. Let's come to plank and hold plank. And then lower your knees and sit back on your heels. So it's said that all our memories and our beliefs, our emotions, are stored in our cells and our connective tissues. So just reflect on the fact that your body has been with you from, the moment of conception through every experience you've had in your life. Consider what memories, emotions, and beliefs might be stored in your connective tissues and your cells. Okay, now inhale, come back up onto all fours. Bring your hands slightly forward of your shoulders, your knees slightly back of your hips. Just lift your tail up towards the sky. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips up for downward facing dog. And open your heels toward the ground. Now take your right leg straight in the air. And then bring your right leg through so your right heel lines up with your left hip bone. And fold forward over your bent right leg. Great. So one thing I love about yoga is that you get to become the expert about your own body. No expert outside of you could ever possibly know your body better than you do. So what would it be like to become the expert on your own body and your own experience? Find your way back to downward facing dog. And then bring your left leg up, give it a little shake and a wiggle, and bend your left leg through. And begin to fold forward over your front bent left leg. And on this side, ask yourself, in what scenarios or in what ways do you hand your power over to an expert about your body? Find your way out of the pose and come back into downward facing dog. Okay, from down dog, let's take that right leg up again and bend it and bring it through our hands so you can come into a lunge pose. And in this pose, just ask yourself, how does your body tell you the story of you? Or what's the story of you that your body tells you? Now lean back and switch legs so that your left leg is coming through. And on this side, ask yourself, to what extent do I listen to the story of me that my body is telling me? And shift back, release this pose from your body, and find your way onto your belly. Okay, so on your belly, I want you to bend your left knee and reach around and hold on to your left ankle. Now, if you can't reach there, you can hold on to the foot as well. But if you can't reach that, then you could also grab a strap and use that. Press the front of your pelvis into the ground. Roll your left shoulder back and up. And then begin to move your left heel away from your buttocks so that it lifts your torso off the ground. And you can have your arm in front of you like Nika does, bent, or straight out. I do like that bent arm version though, it's quite nice. And slowly release that side from your body. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Press the front of your pelvis into the ground again. Bend your right knee. Reach around and hold on to your right ankle or foot. Roll your right shoulder back and up. Breathe out, draw your navel toward your spine. And breathe in. Move your ankle back to lift your torso. And as you hold this side, ask yourself if your body is telling you something that you're avoiding. Now slowly release the side and push yourself up and back. Bring your knees up underneath you, open them slightly, and fold forward over your bent legs. Okay, find your way back onto your belly. And we're going to do both sides, but you could continue with one side or the other. Choose which side you want to work on. Maybe the side that was more challenging if you're going to do one side. But otherwise you can bend both knees in. Reach around and hold on to your feet or your ankles. Press the front of your pelvis into the ground. Roll your shoulders back and up. Breathe in. Breathe out and pull your heels away to lift your chest. Now slowly release the pose from your body. Push yourself up and back. And fold forward. Notice what's happening now. Find your way up to a seated position. Okay, we're going to work with cow's face pose, and this is a pose that can be challenging depending on your hips. So this pose is challenging for Ninka. And you know, it's like, this is one of those things that's sort of like, you know, the body that's dealt you. It was just sort of never that challenging for me, just because of the way my body is structured, and it's probably always been challenging for you. So we were talking about this before we started filming today, about how there are certain structural things within your pelvis, of the way the femur bone goes into the pelvis. I mean, these are two big bones in there, and there can be bone-on-bone compression, and no matter how much yoga you do, if there's compression, it's not muscular, and so it's not going to go anymore. So this could be an issue for you in cow's face. So for me, for example, it's definitely an issue when I do forward folds. I can go to here and then it stops. I hit bone-on-bone compression. Well, it doesn't sort of matter how much yoga I do, it's always going to be that way. So what you need to do is support yourself and prop yourself in it, and definitely not force yourself. So what Ninka's done today is she's folded up a really thick sweatshirt to sit on, but often in studio, we just forgot the blocks today down here at the lake, but you could sit on a block or on a stack of books, whatever would make this a little simpler for you and your body. So what we'll do is slide your left leg in and cross your left leg over your right leg. Now you'll cross it so that it folds open and the outside edge of your foot is on the mat. And see, you can see already, this is the difference. In my body, this happens easily. In Ninka's body, not so much. And that's just, you know, that's just how it is. It's not a big deal. So Ninka's going to be showing you, I think it's so great that we have two such different bodies here today, because you get to see, you know, the way different bodies work. Now bring your right heel maybe up to your left hip bone. And this may or may not work. If your buttocks is like hanging out way up here, and it may be more beneficial for you to go back to even leg long, or to prop underneath that. Okay. So in this pose, let's come to a twist. How you doing, okay? And a twist to the other side. And then come back center and hinge forward from your hips here. So every cell of your body has a purpose and a memory, and is in communication with every other cell in your body. So if you know that's what's happening in your body, I want you to imagine what kind of conversation is happening in your body right now. And then slowly come up, release your legs Oh, give them a nice little wiggle out. And now bend your left knee in. Sorry, your right knee. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Crossing your right leg over your left leg, bring your... I'm trying to mirror you and I'm doing a horrible job of it. You would think, you know, I always think, oh, we only have to remember one thing when we teach is right from left and switch it. You would think that would be a simple thing. I'm sorry. Okay, so left over right, right up to left. If I sit sideways, the whole thing is gone away. Okay, just notice the difference between this side and the other side. And now twist. And come back center and twist to the other side. And come back center and hinge forward from your hips with your spine long. And just reflect on how stress has landed in your body. And then become curious about how your body has adapted to your stressors. And then slowly come up and release your legs. Give them a little shake out, wiggle your hips. Okay, now bend both your knees. Bring the soles of your feet together, opening your knees wide. Sink down through your tailbone, lengthen your spine up nice and tall. Hinge forward from your hips. And this can be good if you have props. If you're at home and you've got blankets and things, you could prop underneath here just so that fill the space. So as you hold this pose, ask yourself, what resistance does your body want you to attend to? Slowly make your way back up to seated. And then I'm going down on your backs with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. So this next one, it's a great yoga posture, but you must exercise caution with your knees, particularly the insides of your knees. You want the stretch to be across the belly of your muscle, but not on the inside of your knees. So just do this pose with caution, move slowly, pay attention to the cues of your body. So from here, what we'll do is bring your left foot up along the side of your body, internally rotate your left leg, and bring your left knee toward the ground. And again, some bodies may be able to do this easily and reach the ground easily, and others it will be more of a challenge. And then release your left leg. And switch sides, so your right heel is going to come up along the side of your body. Internally rotate your right leg until your right knee comes toward the ground. And as much as you can, try to keep your pelvis even side to side. So that might mean backing off a bit. And again, if you have props at home, it can be great to fill the space in there. And then just as carefully as you went in, find your way out. And now bring the soles of your feet together and open your knees out to the side. Again, great if you have some extra propping around to be able to prop your knees here. So as you hold this pose here, ask yourself what it would be like to meet yourself through your body. And then slowly bring your knees in and extend your legs. You can either keep your knees bent or extend your legs straight out for Savasana. Roll your shoulders back and under. And let your body rest into the ground to receive your practice. take a deep breath in through your nose, inside out through your mouth, and start to wiggle and stretch a little bit. And then bend your knees and roll to your side. And find your way to a seated position. And if we have time, we'll do a little seated meditation. So get whatever props you need to support yourself in sitting right now. And I'm going to read to you a short reading from the Buddha. And you know, as with all of these readings, if they resonate with you, great. You know, get what you get out of them. But if they don't sit well or they don't make sense, then just let them go. Maybe another time, or maybe no time. Not really a big deal. So sink down through your tailbone, lengthen up through your spine. Bring your head back over your shoulders. With this fathom-long body is found all the teachings. Is found suffering, the cause of suffering, and the end of suffering. I'll read that again. Within this body is found all the teachings. Is found suffering, the cause of suffering, and the end of suffering. And then take another deep breath in through your nose and sigh out through your mouth. And reflect back on your practice today. This practice of listening with your body. What stands out for you? And because there is a connection between the way we do our lives and the way we do our yoga, find the connection. What's the connection between this thing that stood out and the rest of your life? Now find a way to acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge yourself for showing up in your practice today. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out through your mouth. Thank you so much for joining us on our 1-year anniversary of Namaste Yoga. We get to have cupcakes now. We've been waiting all class to have our cupcakes. So happy birthday to Namaste Yoga. Thank you for a wonderful year. Thank you to Prima Clothing for our wonderful t-shirts. And thank you to all of you for tuning in each week. Namaste.